Oh, look, it's like Inception with two monitors. New. Oh. I don't know why I spent so much time doing that. I'm on my own, you see. I'm on my own. I need to tighten this up against my mic stand, you see. Is there anything that you would like to get off your chest now?
I am ninja. Look, I hide.
What can I sit there and go?
Hey everybody! It's time for the podcast!
And that's why I said 4 fingers was enough for a meaty hole. Oh, hi, sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome to another episode of Modded Gossip. Phones on silent, please, we're recording.
I'll record you in a minute.
Hi, I'm Stu, and you may know me from such productions as Fist Deep and 3 Knees in Your Mother. Well, today we're here with another Modded Gossip. I can't, because I can just see your face down there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Modded Gossip news broadcast, where we are your hosts, Stuart here. Hello.
Ali here.
And Ali, and we're going to give you the week in review, coming from our point of view. We've got a few things to talk about, and I've got my extendable baton for the weather report, which I'm not going to be doing. But I just thought, for effect, I would have this in my hand. So, no, do you know what? I'm not happy with that. Hi, welcome to another episode of Modded Gossip. We are your news team for today, for the next just over an hour. I'm Stu.
And I'm 2 anchors, 1 boat, Ali.
Yep. Take from that what you will. And we're going to have a very interesting sort of podcast this week because instead of doing about a specific subject, we're going to be talking about our experiences. But thank you for joining us and thank you for kind of taking part as well.
We're just going to leave it, by the way.
Yeah, it's tech related. And we're not going to say like
it's like
what sort of
tech lives.
Yeah, it's tech lives. It's not like how many times that that I've changed my panties or something like that.
It's only once a week, so it wouldn't make for a very long podcast.
Oh, do you know what? I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do once a week. No way.
What about turn them inside out and the wrong way round?
No, that's Red Dwarf. I can't do that. That is dangerous play. Can you imagine throwing it at the wall and it just sticks?
It would go through the wall.
Like a cannonball. Anyway, we've digressed way too much. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about our week in technology and what we've done, what we've played, what we're thinking about. It's going to be quite a loaded subject. So pull up a drink and...
Yeah, pull up a drink.
Yeah.
And sit on your chair.
Sip on your chair.
Right, yeah.
No, pull up a chair, grab a drink, sit back and listen to us go. So Ali, what have you been up to this week?
Well, it's all been about the Ryzen 2, mate.
The Ryzen 2. Give us a little bit of information on that.
So, Ryzen 2 came out.
To the mic.
Sorry, my head hurt.
I know, I understand.
Ryzen 2 came out at the start of this week. And when was it? Monday? Anyway, doesn't matter. So it came out at the start of this week, and there's a new line of Ryzen chips. And I thought, I'm going to update mine. I want to update mine. I'm one of these PC Master Race people, which is fine. So I went for the 2700X, which is the new flagship, which is fine because they said, AM4, they're supporting AM4 motherboards, by the way, until 2020. So the motherboard you bought, you'll be able to buy a new processor in 2020 and it will work on that board. Or will it? Problem I had, the original 1700 I had, the Ryzen 1700, it had a TDP, which is a thermal design something or other. The operating power, basically, and thermal limit was 65 watts. The new one I bought was 105 watts.
That's nearly double.
Yeah. AMD hasn't really mentioned to people that you really shouldn't be buying this sort of chip and putting it on the mid-range boards, which is the B350. You got the A350, the B350, and the X370. X370 is the flagship. So anyway, I got my little Tomahawk B350 board, and I put the processor on it, and it works. It does work. And I just tried to overclock. And what I was saying is the VRMs, which provide the power from the power supply through the motherboard to the CPU, were getting, well, they peaked at about 115 degrees centigrade. Not very happy about
115.
that. 115 in total it came to in the end. So, yeah, they're designed for up to 125, but if you run them at 115 for any extended periods of time, it's just going to... What I worried about was the board, if it went, not a massive deal. If it goes, not good. But it can blow the CPU.
Which is something you definitely don't want to do after dropping that much money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So I tried loads of different tests. I even put a fan behind it, blowing directly onto the board because, well, I didn't want to put... My computer's very pretty, and I didn't really want to just shove...
Do you want to give everyone a look?
I'll try.
Oh, no. Yeah, just a little bit. I think that'd be quite good.
Here we go. We're going to move it down high. We'll move it across. There we go. There we go. There it is.
That's a nice, pretty old one, isn't it?
It's a pretty old one. Hold on, pretty. Am I in a good position? That's a good position. There we go. So, back to it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Where was I? Yes, they were getting too hot.
Yeah.
They were getting too hot. Way too hot for sustained use. And to be honest, a lot of it was psychological, just because of the fact I knew the stress tests I was running, in real world scenarios, it would never get that hot. But they were still.
You are a fan of stress tests and
things
like that on your benchmarks.
Prime 95.
You do that quite a lot.
Yeah, it's part of what I enjoy with PCs. It's not just the gaming side of it; it's pushing the hardware. So, yeah, it wasn't going too well. Wasn't happy. Couldn't deal with it. So I went and bought a new board, the X470, which is the new flagship board for this generation, and it will use. You can use old Ryzen chips on it as well.
Is it the top of the range one? Like, is that the top?
No, but this is a mid range of the top tier. If you're going top range, you're going to drop about 300 quid.
Wow, that's a lot for a motherboard.
Yeah, and to be honest, I did a lot of research in the different phases. They're called power phases, power delivery. They're all much for muchness. Not much difference between them, really, unless you get to the really high-end boards. So the B350 I've got uses a 4+3 phase, and this uses a 10+2 phase, which means it's basically 7 phases versus 12. And those extra phases mean that they're delivering less power each. They can deliver more power and deliver it at a much more stable rate compared to the old board for these chips, might I add, because the Tomahawk board I was really happy with my 1700. What's pissed me off about it is I know quite a bit about PCs, and I thought this may be the case, but I didn't realise it'd be this extreme when I bought the chip. There's people out there that know a lot less, and AMD are turning around saying, well, yeah, you can use it, and it'll be fine. But the main problem they've got, I manually overclock my chips. The new Ryzen uses XFR2, which is, it works a bit like GeForce, their core boost technology. So what GeForce will do, like Ryzen, it will keep continually overclocking the core when it's under stress until it reaches a thermal or power limit. But it doesn't take into account the VRM temperatures.
Right.
So the CPU might be at a good temp, and the voltage might be safe for the CPU, but the VRMs can be off the fucking scale, and eventually it'll pop, or it'll just die. Best case scenario, it dies. Probably you're gonna half the life at least of the motherboard, or maybe more. So you might have it for 6 months, and then your board just doesn't turn on one day, or it goes in a hail of explosions, magic smoke, fireworks, shrapnel, and it kills your CPU as well. So I think they need to put a warning out there. There's a lot of obviously YouTubers. Gamers Nexus is one of my favourites.
He's a very good channel, isn't he?
He's very thorough,
right
and
down.
he looks at things like this. Whereas there's other channels that I'm not going to name. They're like, oh yeah, you can overclock it, yeah, and 1.4 volts on the CPU, that's safe. Yeah, it's not bad. It's fine, and the CPU's getting up to a safe temperature, and that's fine. But your VRMs are burning themselves to death. Whereas he looks at the VRMs and the other bits and pieces around it, because it's happened all through PC history where there's a lot of CPUs will be supported by a motherboard, but they're not really designed for it.
Yeah.
So I've gone to ASUS with this one. Motherboard configuration is quite a bit different. It's nicer than MSI's, but some of the terms are a bit different, so I had to do a little bit of research. So yeah, it's all up and running. I intend after this pod to try and push it further, because I've got more headroom now to be able to do that. I try and overclock it more. And a lot of people are saying, oh, you don't need to overclock it because it will overclock itself. Yeah, and mine does overclock itself. And at stress testing, it overclocked itself on all cores to 150 megahertz less than what I've been able to get it to at a stable rate at this point. So I like to overclock, so I'm going to do it, because there's a lot of people saying that you don't need to. This is a fabulous chip for people that want to, say, for example, buy, or not this chip specifically, I'd probably go for the 2600X, that want a gaming PC, and they put a nice cooler on it, and then they leave it to overclock itself. And yeah, it'll work really well. So
it's still a lot of money to drop though on a something that you're not going to play with. Like, I'm pretty sure that the people that would buy the 2700 and invest in the Series 2 now are people that want to like start overclocking it and start to play with it and trying to get the maximum amount of it.
Yeah, but what's the point for it?
Yeah, I know, but you know, there's hobbyists, there's people that build PCs.
Oh, there's content creators. This chip would be really good for, where you don't want to manually overclock, and yet at the same time you want to get a really good render time on it. And it would
I think from the 1700 or the 1800 Ryzen first gen, I don't think the render times are that bad at all. Like, I've got the 1700 in mine.
No, exactly.
But I render 2 hours in. I was going to say, so I render in 2 hours in about 25 minutes.
Yeah. But yours is overclocked manually.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is these chips now, the XFR and the original Ryzen, they'd only overclock 1 or 2 cores. This will dynamically overclock all cores depending on power and megahertz. So it's good for people that don't know much about it. They want to get the bits. They just put a good cooling solution. I mean, the cooling solution that comes with it is great.
The Prism, Wraith Prism,
the Prism. And there's something else I want to talk about with that.
Has it got RGB in it?
It has.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Um,
ladies and gents, we're going to an unboxing.
So, they say this is really good for the 1700 because obviously because it's only a 65 watt. Looks really nice. It's got RGB, and obviously this is brand new. I haven't used it. Okay. So here we go.
Christ, get a cooler.
So it's got the thermal paste on the bottom.
Rise up. Yeah. Turn it around again.
Big old boy.
That's better. Yeah.
Really nice fan on there. Really good thermals. And what also it does is, because it's a down blower, where the air's coming out the fins, it's actually going to cool the VRMs on other motherboards.
Nice.
So it's not really good. You can't get as much headroom out of the 2700 with this as I could with my water cooling. But what it is really good with is the 1700 and 1600.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to give this to you as a gift.
Oh.
So you can get a bit of bling in your PC.
You'll have to help me with that, because that seems a bit beyond me. But I appreciate that. That's nice.
The cooler that you've got, it works fine. But this is just as good. Yeah, the Noctua.
Pardon my language, but the baby shit brown.
Yeah. But you don't need that much thermal headroom. So I thought I could give this to you, and we could mess around, see whether it's...
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's nearly as good, but I thought that's a bit of RGB, and I know that you want to get a new case. So I thought, when you get a new case eventually, this will be a nice centerpiece with the RGB on it.
That would be nice. Thanks, man. I'm not going to show a picture of my PC, because my PC at the moment is there, like behind this monitor. But I've got... Oh, just punched the mic. I've got an NZ XT sort of... It's like a basic case with a small window in it. It's great for what it needs.
Z1.
Is it Zalman, is it?
Zalman Z1. There's a lot of companies that made that frame. That used that frame, sorry. But yours...
Oh, is it Zalman? I thought it was an NZXT. So there's something in there that's an NZXT. I don't know what it is. But it's just a kind of a basic case. It didn't really bother me at the time. I was just, case, excellent. It's got a little window, but it was just so everything I could get together and put it in. But obviously, owning a PC for this long now, like an absolute work hog, it doesn't really make sense why I'm not trying to make it look prettier and make it more of a centerpiece. So, it's always the case that you buy something, like when you get a tattoo, once you've got a tattoo, you want to get another, and you want to keep going up and up and up. Whereas I originally thought that I was just going to get the unit and just be like, yeah, that's fine. But there's always things that you look at and you're like, yeah, actually.
You're too much of a hobbyist as well.
Well, yeah, I didn't think that there was going to be that much sort of wanting to do that.
Oh man, I get as much gratification out of pimping my PC as I do using it.
Yeah, I've never been a pimper, shall we say. I've just never have. And then as soon as I got a PC, I was like, oh, but that would look really cool if that's like that, or maybe that's like that. You know, maybe I can get this and move that to that, and then it just snowballs. And then now I've got nothing in my PC that's got LEDs except for the red light on the motherboard for the B350.
Yeah.
And the GeForce logo, and I don't even look at it. But then I'm sitting there like, I look, especially when I look at your PC as well, and I see there's so many lights and so many different movements, and I'm like, all my RGB is here in front of me, so I can see it. But it's like, how much cooler would it be if my PC was like that as well? And I'm sure thousands of other people think that.
My mouse is
that's an awesome mouse.
The colour, because I've changed, obviously it's smooth over there. I've changed it all to purple.
Yeah.
So now I colour coordinate everything. That's just that's what I enjoy. So yeah.
I should probably colour coordinate as well. Mine's just rainbow, as you can see from my... I'm one of those people that adopted into the Corsair utility engine. So as soon as I bought my keyboard, which is the K70 Lux, just because I love the feel and the look of it.
What's a Lux for?
Lux is a different font. It's just a newer version.
Ah, right. Okay.
So yeah, and I thought, okay, well I can get the headphones, and then that links together. And then I got the mouse, which is this really cool scimitar. And then all of a sudden I've got the mouse mat that's got RGB around it, so it looks like a disco. And I was never gonna do that. I was gonna sit there and just have my keyboard, and I was gonna use an old mouse. And it's just one of those things. It's hobbyist. You keep wanting to see how much further you can go. And that's what I love about PC building. Yeah, that's what I love about PC building and making your own little setup. It becomes totally mine. Like, I don't colour coordinate.
Got a PC like yours. No one's got a PC like mine. You know.
Yeah, it may be similar, but it's
a lot
very
of people do
rare.
with cars, don't they? I've never been one for cars. Not really.
No, I've not. I think
my Mazdas, I was my black Mazda. I got all the tan redone on that, and I got black alloys to go with it. But it was only very subtle.
Yeah, but you wouldn't sit there and pimp it out with lights underneath and things.
No,
I'd be too scared that I would crash it.
The MX-5
or damage it.
The MX-5 for me was like a retro PC.
Yeah.
So I was just giving it a little...
You got it for the love.
And the wheels were period specific to the age, like a 1990
Yeah.
car. So, yeah, but I thought, we can have a bit of fun with that cooler.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
I think with your overclock on your chip, we've reached a voltage overhead.
Sort of peak now, isn't it? Yeah.
Your thermals, so it doesn't matter if it runs a tad hotter when you've got something a bit nicer, because the Noctua is fucking great. Those fans are terrible. The fans themselves, as fans, are great. That poo brown.
That's what I don't really look at it, because like even looking over now, it's the color of it is like light brown, sort of baby poo.
Yeah.
Like, I've got no better way to describe it, because that's exactly what it looks like. And it's not a very attractive thing. Now, when you look at the new Noctua fans, they come in black, or like this gunmetal grey.
Well, Linus Tech Tips has his own, didn't they? He got his own commission by them.
They're black and orange. Yeah, you can get like fancy ones now, but it just happens that...
Yeah, we're gonna do a Kickstarter for Noctua Modded Gossip fans.
Oh yes, pink and blue.
Yeah.
Or purple, purple and pink, whatever you want. Like, yeah, I would love that. Do you know what? That's what I'm going to do tonight. After this pod, I'm going to change all of my setup to be pink and blue. Really get into the whole Modded Gossip spirit.
Well, see, I was thinking about looking at the Modded Gossip logo. I could do some of my fans in that pink, and then the sunrise on the motherboard, I could do the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pretty much recreate that on my PC now, because obviously all my fans are individually addressable.
Yeah.
Then I've got the case LEDs, I've got the motherboard LEDs, the RAM LEDs. The cooler stays white because it's the cooler. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. The only problem is I've got to have like thermal take LED control, Asus thermal LED control, Corsair LED control, and NZXT LED control. So I have to have all. They don't synchronize. Oh, and Logitech for my peripherals.
Oh wow! So you've got to have 5 programs up.
Yeah.
Was that 5?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Whereas mine is just all Corsair. But I don't have any on my PC, you see. But yeah, well, I think PC modding is definitely relevant to the time now. There's so many people that are doing it, so many children and young adults that really want to get onto it.
Yeah.
Like it's the natural progression now. Like, who doesn't like fancy coloured lights? Like, you can see it here. Who doesn't like this?
You see,
Not
what I
necessarily
want to
this
do
colour
next
scheme, but
is actually mod. I want to get a Macintosh Classic,
that would be lovely.
and then I want to strip it all out. Well, I want to get a broken one, strip it all out, and put an iPad screen in where the old CRT screen was. Because the
Do you reckon
iPad
that can be
screens, yeah, you can get a converter board for DisplayPort on the old iPad screens, and they're literally 2K screens that are 9 inches. The Retina ones, are bloody great. So get that with DisplayPort, little PC in it, beautiful. That'd work a treat. Oh, actually, while I'm talking about what else I've done this week, I bought myself I bought two, but I bought 2 iBook G4s, one for myself, one for Stu. So I've maxed out the RAM on it to 1.5 gigahertz, maximum it can have. It's got a Radeon card in it, which is pretty cool. It plays games from like, because it's got without going to macOS too much, because I'm learning about it. With macOS 10, which this is the Tiger version, which is 10.4. Obviously, Mac still uses the same OS.
Yeah.
They've updated it quite considerably. A lot of the older games run on macOS 9, and what it's got is a pretty brilliant thing, which Windows hasn't got, whereby it will run macOS 9 on top of 10. So if you've got an old game like Monkey Island, it will boot up macOS 9 within 10 and then run it within its own window.
That's really, so it's like the equivalent of compatibility mode, like years before it was actually
it's
a thing.
Really good mode, and it means that I could run games on here, the pretty old ones. You're talking about early 90s. I haven't tried anything earlier, but I wanted to get. I haven't got much room in my flat, and I wanted to get a retro machine, something I hadn't used before, and something where I could run a lot of different games. And Mac, surprisingly, back then had a lot of compatibility with games. You'd be surprised. So yeah, I got that. I've got a 64 gig SSD that I'm going to shove in it once I've got the IDE converter, and then the hard drive I've got in it, I'm going to put in Stu's that I bought because the hard drive's buggered. I think your PC's getting jealous.
Yeah, it is.
So,
all this talk about Macintosh, and it's like, no.
1 second.
As you can tell, I still haven't sorted out that fan controller.
With retro PCs, I like to get everything genuine. So I wouldn't modify an old computer. Like, I've got a 486 that I want to get up and running, and I want all period specific parts in it. Apart from the hard drive, it'll have like a compact flash card in it. But like, I got this, which is the Apple Mighty Mouse.
Hey, is that with the ball on it?
Yeah, little ball.
Nice.
£6 eBay. I won the auction. It's spotless. It's literally spotless. And
That's
what's
cool.
cool about this, we're on this operating system. It's running Tiger, which came out like 2004, 2005, and yet it knows, like Logitech, it knows it's this mouse that's plugged in, and it comes up with this mouse picture. macOS, like, compared to what Windows has, compared to what Windows had at the time, I keep hitting it. It needs the little wang thing needs to go on the other side. The arm. Compared to what, like, Windows XP was great, but like Mac, they've done a really good job.
You happy with it?
Yeah, it runs really quick. The browser's a bit slow because obviously it's running a single core power PC. So what do you expect really from it? But everything else is working.
You're not going to run Crysis on it, are you?
No.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter as long as it plays. You're talking about getting the vanilla WoW on there.
Yeah, I've downloaded the client. What server we use, I'm not saying anything. We're just going to run the client. I'm not going to use any strange or wonderful servers.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
So,
but
yeah.
That's the fun
cool.
of it. That's the fun, like having a tiny little machine that you can play all these old retro games that are very portable. I know you could say you get a laptop or anything, but it's nice to have that little bit of history as well, I find. It's not just you've bought a new laptop and you've just got games on it. It's like we can sit there and we can play these Macs side by side, and instead of it just being we're playing this old game together, it's the fact that it's more of the experience that we're playing this old game how we would do it years ago.
Well, yeah, I love running retro games on retro hardware.
Yeah, it's the actual hardware, and that's the real appeal. There's no point me sitting there playing Monkey Island on my PC. As much as I'll enjoy it, I won't have that experience of when, I would have played it before, like when I was younger.
You can use like DOSBox. DOSBox is really good because you can set DOSBox to emulate any sort of hardware. So you can say, it's a 486, it's got 8 meg of RAM, it's got a sound card, it's got Sound Blaster 2. You can set all that up. But I'm looking at the moment to play retro games from different periods. With PCs, you kind of need 3. You need one for the early 80s, one for the late 80s to mid 90s, and then one from the mid 90s onwards. And I want 3 laptops to do that. I'm not going to pay a lot for them. If I find them, I find them. If I don't, I don't. But then I can stack them up and put them away. And when I want to play that period, I can bring it out.
See, that's nice. I remember my partner used to play WoW on one of the old. It was new at the time, but obviously in today's time, it's dreadful. And she said that she used to play World of Warcraft,
right?
And all the grass was triangles. Like there was no rendering. She used to play with no textures.
Wow!
Just so she could play socially. And then she got this new laptop, which was top of the range back then, which is not particularly fantastic now. But my dad's got it at the moment. You know, he said it was like Christmas all in one. Said it was like a completely new experience. Everything looked photorealistic, and WoW never looks photorealistic. Like no matter what you play it on. But she said it was just the fact that it was the change going from that to this. It was amazing. But she said she wouldn't change it. Like we tried playing a little bit of WoW, going back to it not that long ago, and it was fun, but it didn't feel like when we were playing it like before, like separately. I was playing it on an old Pentium 2 before, you know, like one of the old big sort of tower PCs, not like now. And I was playing it with like a 60 something Radeon.
Yeah.
Real, it was, and it struggled, but I think that kind of brought the novelty with it. That I knew that when I was playing, that what I was seeing, I was running it as well as I could, but that was the game that I was seeing, and that's the sort of nostalgia. And now I tried playing it on this beast, right? And playing it on this beast is ridiculous. I told you when we first built it, didn't I? I was running World of Warcraft at 400 frames a second on Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know WoW's not a particularly, like needy game. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it didn't feel right. It felt too smooth. It was just, it was too polished and too nice for me to think, It didn't strike my chords.
I can't remember what I played mine on. I think mine was an Athlon 64. Because I played it from launch. I think I had an Athlon XP on a 64. And it was a GeForce 6600 GT, something like that. But it was just vanilla WoW for me is the best. It's just the best because now
I only joined on Kata, which is a real shame.
No,
I missed out.
Travel everywhere. You don't get that sense of risk and reward either.
I would have loved to have done it. I really would have loved to have experienced it, but I just couldn't. I can't.
Sorry, now because that WoW client is working a treat.
Oh, are you on it?
Oh, I've just tested it. Yeah.
What, on air? Lovely job. On air.
Yeah.
Lovely job.
Well, it will literally. I left it installing and then it just booted up, going, "Please enter your account."
Do you have to have a membership, or because it's?
Let's just say that with a private vanilla server, you go onto certain private sites and you create what you need to do what you need to do.
Okay, well, we'll just leave that there.
Yeah.
If you just saw my viewpoint get a lot brighter, it's because I'm having to do the advanced settings for the camera on the fly because it's getting dark. When we started this, it was quite light. It's getting darker now, so I kind of have to adjust it. So if you do see the camera go a little bit, don't worry about it. It's just me playing around. But that's pretty good about the MacBooks. I'm really excited to play it. I think that's going to be cool. I think it's just going to be real super fun.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I've downloaded quite a few games. Halo was quite interesting on it because Halo works.
A 2001 legend, that is.
Yeah. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just
Scum
kind of
VM games that I've got on there now as well. So a lot of the adventure games from LucasArts that use Scum VM, they all work.
My favourite ones of them are Beneath the Steel Sky. That was my.
Yeah, got that on there.
That was my
Day of the Tentacle.
Sam and Max.
Sam Max Hit the Road. Monkey Island series. Full Throttle.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Stuff like that. So I got Sin. Do you remember the game Sin?
Right, I've got to tell you a funny story about Sin. Right. I was obsessed with Sin. I got it randomly somewhere. I can't remember how. It might be my brother or something. Yeah. But I was absolutely obsessed with that game to the point where I would play it, finish it, start again, play it, finish it.
Wow.
I absolutely loved it. And I don't know why. I think it might have been the entry and exit wounds system that it had. That it was just fun. And I always used to use the silenced pistol. Just loved it. I just couldn't
really
get enough.
doing that in Far Cry. I love doing a James Bond in Far Cry, just using the pistol.
Yeah.
And being really efficient with your shots.
Far Cry is a really good game to actually live out some of your movie fantasies. I was trying to take out
God, some of the situations we've created.
Oh yeah,
just
when we play together, it's fantastic. But there's one where I was playing on my own, trying to get my perks up after Ubisoft messed everything up.
Yeah.
And I took the whole base down, and there was this one guy far away that was just about to see me, right? And he was turning around, and then there was one person right directly in front of me, and I was going to bow and arrow the one closest, and then do the one next to him. But because they both turned round, it turned into a slow motion movie thing, where I had to sit there, fire the arrow at the far away one to kill them, and then instantly do the takedown. And I was like, oh my god, I'm bloody Jason Statham here, just taking them down. Got the whole perks for doing it all silently, and after I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just it's like that. It's when it's open sandbox at its best.
Yeah. And I know Far Cry 5 is the same as 3 and 4. Like we get it that people are not happy that there's not enough of a change, but for the game itself, it's some of the most fun I've had.
I never played. Well, I played a little bit of 3. I didn't play 4 at all. So
I maxed out 3 because I loved it on PS3 and Xbox. Yeah, loved it. I honestly maxed that out. That was great. I didn't play Far Cry 4 because I just never got round to it, but I've always wanted to. And this Far Cry 5 feels like Far Cry 3, and obviously for me, I bloody loved the third one.
Yeah.
So of course I'm going to love this one, and I'm 99% sure I'm going to love the fourth when I eventually get round to playing it. But yeah, no, I think there's some great experiences. However, I'm going to move on now. I'm going to move on. Earlier in the week, I downloaded a game, right?
Yeah.
For the Nintendo Switch. It sounds really cool. And when I started playing it, I was hooked. And then the more I started playing it, the more I started realising that this game was actually really bad. But I was telling you about it when I first downloaded it. It's a game called A Normal Lost Phone.
Oh yeah, God. Right okay.
It's a normal lost phone, and the premise of the game is you control yourself, you as you, right? And you find a phone on the floor.
Yeah.
So the whole game, all the UI, everything is all about, it's just this phone. And it's just the phone UI. So you dig deeper and you try and find out who the owner of this phone was. And I was loving it. I was sitting there going, oh my god, I have to go through these messages to try and find the Wi-Fi password to get onto this. And I felt like I was being a proper detective. And I was trying to find out what was going on with this person and why everyone hated him, and all through the messages they were like giving him abuse, and I was like, right, this is going to be some real nice, juicy things. Has he murdered someone? Is he part of some sort of cult? And the more I started playing it, I was like really addicted. When we were talking, I think we were about to play Far Cry, and I was sitting there just playing this game. Just on the Switch, you turn it sideways so it looks like a phone, and I was just playing it, and I loved it. And then the more that I got into it, the more that I realised that the actual story, pardon my language, was really shit. Like, there's nothing more you could say. It was about a really good... Imagine them sitting there going, we want to make a game about this specific subject.
Yeah.
And then the world going, yes, that's amazing. We should do this to try and highlight this issue. Because it is a genuine issue.
Yeah,
but then they make
I understand that.
But then they make a game that could potentially be really good for that sort of community, but then they aim it to be like a super horror game.
Really?
And that's what they did. Yeah, on the trailer, there's just find this person's like nasty dark secret. You got to dig deeper to find out what's going on. But I'm gonna spoil it for you now. So if you don't want to hear it, right, press mute.
Yeah. Hang on, right, until I put my hand down.
Yeah, when the hand goes down, turn your sound back on. But anyway, so you go through this guy's phone, and you keep digging and digging and digging and digging, and it's really, really cool. But then all you do is you just find out that the guy wants to live as a woman, and he's gone to a board game club as a woman, but he's living life as a man, and he just wants to live as a transsexual. He wants to change into a woman. He wants to make that sort of pass, right? He wants to go the full hog. And he just basically says his parents won't love him for who he was, so all he does, he just throws his phone in the gutter, gets on a motorbike and runs away. And I was like, that's it? That's all of it?
Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on. But from a story like that, which is a very, highlighting issues of things like the LGBT community. I think it's an extra letter which I don't know, which I can't remember off the top of my head. Is it LGBT? But there's something else. But anyway, I'm not disregarding them or anything. I just genuinely, I don't know. But it's a good subject to tackle, and it's really good to kind of highlight those sort of issues. But advertising this game as a horror game, and that it's some sort of nasty dark secret, right?
Yeah.
Is it nasty? Is it a nasty secret? Because I think that's a genuine issue, which I'm sure if he just started talking to people, but it's not
the fact of the people that are saying it within the game. So maybe it's trying to reflect these ignorant, buggers that are basically saying, well, yeah, it's dirty, it's nasty, it's whatever it is.
I totally agree, but it's more of the fact that they've advertised this whole thing as a dirty, dark secret, right?
Yeah, but they've done that on purpose, and you never assume.
But they're making it out that what this person has gone through in this story is as bad as what you were expecting. Do you not think that?
No, because I thought, it could be that he's what I said he was originally, and you were like, no, it can't be because of the. So maybe
the certification and everything was it? It wasn't what I thought was advertised. Now the idea for the game was great. Don't get me wrong. The idea for the game was genius, and it made me want to keep playing. But it was very short, which I don't mind. It wasn't expensive at all. But as I was playing it, as I've mentioned, it was the fact that was the end game, and you think so. All of that, so warranting the 18 certificate and advertising it as this person had, you put. Let me put it this way: you can't put it in the same sentence of, if you think someone is a murderer or part of a cult, but the actual reason is something like that.
Yeah,
you've marketed that very wrong. Because it's not. It is, it's a real issue that people have to deal with, and I don't think they should be promoting it in that fashion as if they're wrong for feeling it. They're wrong for wanting to be who they are.
But maybe that's that they're marketing like that because there's people out there that's exactly what they feel about it.
Yeah, but
it's completely wrong. But maybe they're doing it for that reason.
I understand, but it really kind of irked me. I was just like, people are going to play this game, and if they didn't know what it was and they were actually, they could relate to that, they would get very offended. Because if they have been trying to play a game where they think, oh, is this guy a murderer? Is this or this? Oh no, actually, it's got the same issues as, I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
So why, what makes that a dirty secret? It's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking it from the wrong way, but I just thought it was quite offensive. But the thing is, I don't think many people did because they got a sequel that came out yesterday.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah, they got a sequel. It's called Still Another Lost Phone or Still a Lost Normal Phone or something. But I think it's from a female perspective. But I couldn't tell you whether it's about the same subject matter. I know the engine is the same.
Yeah.
But I think
I can understand. They could use... Yeah, but hang on. They could use this format now to create lots of different types of mysteries.
No, 100%. But as I was playing it, I was thinking, oh my God, is this a cultist? Has he murdered someone? Has he done something? What has he done? Why has he just disappeared?
But maybe the next one can be like that.
Well, I hope so. Because it made it look like he'd either just combusted, something from hell had taken him, or something paranormal or something like that had just gotten rid of him. Something has claimed his soul and he was just nowhere to be seen anymore. And I was just really disappointed. I thought this isn't a horrible subject. This isn't.
How much was it in the end?
It was only a £5, but it's. I'm not debating the price. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the money to anyone that wants to experience it. I just took a little bit of a sort of, that's going to be dangerous if someone takes that the wrong way. You know?
Yeah, but there are people going to be taking it completely the wrong way.
Yeah,
So it's
I
just
suppose
it's a hazard. It's just a hazard. It's what else can you do?
I suppose I got my £5 worth because I'm still talking about it now.
Yeah, and how long was
It's
it? How long did it take? A couple of hours, is it, to finish? Something like that.
It was well, if you knew what to do, it would probably take you about 10 minutes.
Yeah, of course, but you could say that about a lot of games, couldn't you?
But yeah, it's more of the fact that you've got to go digging. You've got to go through this guy's messages. You've got to try and find Wi-Fi passwords, then passwords to get into apps. And you've got to read his emails, then try and find different things. You know, so you're always searching. So it took me about 3.5 hours to get it. But
yeah,
I got my money's worth, and I really enjoyed the detective work of that. But you know, the points that I've just brought up before, you know, it's one of those things. But it's got a sequel, so hopefully I'll probably give that a shot because it's one of those games I can't stop talking about and thinking about because
I think you'll get the sequel.
It was a good idea, but I might do a little bit of research before I get the next one, and it depends how much it is. Also, gaming news for me, it's only been out, I don't know how long it's been out, but this guy finally finished Mario Odyssey. I was going to say Galaxy, Jesus. Right, finally finished Mario Odyssey, thanks a lot, yep. Oh, just punch that, yeah, thanks a lot, yep. Is everyone happy about that? Yep. My first ever Mario game that I've ever finished.
Yeah, it's really good. It is really good.
Now everyone's sitting there like, well, that's nothing but a bloody poor effort, if you ask me, you know. I finished it a week after it came out. I don't play Nintendo games, not through choice particularly, they just never appealed. Mario Galaxy was good fun for me. And I think Mario Galaxy, oh Jesus Christ, Mario Odyssey is one of the most intuitive, fun games I've played.
Well, I still believe you need to now play the other Mario games, Galaxy especially, and Mario 64.
Yeah, I think I'm going to because they're just really fun.
It's just you just need to play them, to be honest, because the control set is all the same.
There was a few things in there that really upset me, but
what do you mean?
Like the triple jump and stuff like that. I couldn't do that.
The triple jump's quite good. There's some moves that are a lot easier with the move controllers, as in moving them, than actually doing it. You know, when you spin your hat.
Oh man, I couldn't do that. Yeah,
But
I think there should have been a button for that, or like a combination, because every time I wanted to do it, which is quite a lot, I had to like fling my controller about.
Yeah,
if I've got a Pro controller or the actual console, I don't want to be swinging the console about.
Yeah, you had to do a 360 on the thumbstick, didn't you?
Oh, I don't know.
If you do a 360 on the thumbstick, it'll just do it. That's the way I did it. Is that a revelation to you?
That would have made this game bloody a hell of a lot easier.
Because it's when there's a load of enemies, that's a really good move to use.
Well, that's what I mean. I nearly threw my Switch like 4 or 5 times. I'd be like doing that.
No, you just do that.
Jesus.
You just spin it.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Like Zangief.
The old Zangief.
Exactly like Zangief.
What with his fist punch? He used to have his arms out.
Yeah.
That was good. Oh, more things to mention about. I think it was the beginning of the month. Angry Joe has released a Street Fighter tabletop game. I want it so bad, but I just can't afford 240 quid.
Yeah, it's way too. I think.
I just want like the figures are like the size of this. Figures are massive.
I don't know about it, to be honest.
Oh, it just makes me happy. Like
if it was 50 quid, that'd be fine.
I think the figures alone probably cost that, man. Because the figures are massive, and you get about 6 of them, I think, and all cards and maps and scenery. It's like my perfect sort of game.
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
But no, it's just really cool. And they're so well painted, and it funded in like an hour, I think.
Yeah, but that's
and it was quite a big. It was quite a big price as well.
Yeah.
So if we put Street Fighter miniatures, and it was done by Angry Joe, who's really cool.
What else has he brought out?
He hasn't brought out anything. He's a YouTuber.
So that's the only thing he's done?
Yeah, it's the first thing he's done. He's also looking in the future, I think. Don't quote me, but I think I read Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball Z.
But they're basically going to be the same games, aren't
they? Same game, but just they've just adapted it. Where is it? We got Kickstarter page. Here we go. He wanted £287,101. Right.
Right. Okay.
It's got 7 days to go. We'll do it in dollars actually, because that kind of that makes more sense. He wanted $400,000 to do this, and he made that within 4 hours. It's now at the moment he's on $1,240,801. So he's got 1.2 million.
Okay, what are the stretch goals on it then?
The stretch goals are really impressive. You've got the base game, which has got 8 characters.
Yeah,
like 8 figures, which is cool. I think that's.
I'm assuming it's the original Street Fighter 2.
Just Street Fighter miniatures game. Stretch goals. You've got Guile, Blanca, E Honda, Dalsim, Balrog, Cammy, Fei Long, T-Hawk, and then you've got all of these other ones. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely. They're about double the size of an amiibo.
Yeah.
No, they're about 1 and a bit of an amiibo. Sorry, he had a Mega Man figure. I thought it was an amiibo on the picture, but they're so detailed and they're just so cool. I really urge you to go and check it out. It's just so detailed and it's just right up my street.
What's your price limit? Like, how much could it be that you'd go, well, yeah, I think I'll buy it?
It's, if I had disposable income, man, like I would buy it. I would 100% just go all in.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that. Oh no, sorry, it's $200. Right. Sorry, £200. £200. Sorry, $280. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
And that's the World Warrior pledge, and that's everything. To just get the game on its own.
Yeah.
Which is. No stretch goals are included. It's 57 quid. So that's not too bad, but I think I think it's more of the fact that if I went for the 57 quid one,
yeah,
right, more than likely I would want to get the extra figures for it, just because they're collectibles. You won't be able to buy them. I can guarantee you they'll be sold out everywhere. This will be a limited run. So the only one that I would get is the top one, like, because I want all the figures for it. I can't afford 200 quid. Like, I can't just drop that hit, like, on nothing, on some plastic.
It's a lot of money.
But yeah, it's something that I've been really interested. You obviously know that I'm into board games a lot, more miniature board games. I don't really like things like Ticket to Ride, even though I heard it's really good. I just really can't get hold of it. I need to have miniatures. I need to have minis, and that's my sort of thing. So as soon as I heard about this, instantly,
it seems very one-dimensional though. This game.
Well, it's like a 3D Street Fighter game. You can have up to 4 players, but your moves are dictated by cards.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it should be a lot cheaper to me.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It depends how much it costs for the
money. Unless Capcom has put a massive.
Capcom is licensed. It's a licensed game.
I can't imagine Capcom would charge that much for the license.
No, it's the only board game that Street Fighter is included in. They'll probably just give him the money.
Yeah.
You're like, right, yeah, we want this to come out. This is a great game. Especially because of how much backing he's got from his YouTube community. That's why he got it funded so quickly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because he just made a YouTube video like, this is our game, here's our Kickstarter, go. And all the fans are like, yeah. It's just, I would love it. I just can't justify that on things. I just want more. One of my favourite board games that I've played, just purely for its aesthetics, is that Infinity, at Corvus Belli Infinity. It's like Warhammer, except it's futuristic, but it's kind of got anime levels and anime design.
Right.
It's really clever, but you actually get like scenery and furniture
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of that. It's all made out of paper and cardboard, so that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it
But
just
with a
looks really
3D
good.
printer.
Well, yeah. But it just looks really good. Like, when you just look at like a game and you're like, yeah, that is a masterpiece. It's not like looking at the Game of Life or something like that, where it's just a few bits of plastic. You think, look at the work.
It'd be interesting if there's a board game out there that they use tokens instead of miniatures, but they're saying like it'd be cool if it came with the files. So it says, look, you can buy this game really cheap. We don't provide the miniatures.
Oh, and then
you print
give
them.
you the STL files.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I would love that.
I mean, obviously, me and you have got 3D printers. Not that many people have, but interesting idea, I think, to be able to do that because you could make it a hell of a lot cheaper.
Well, there's on things like Thingiverse and Minifinder or whatever it's called, those websites. There's whole dedicated subjects of board games, so you can print out extras and things.
Yeah.
They could really go for that. Like, if you bought a board game that literally came on a, you got the board and the cards, as you say, and then the miniatures you print out yourself, you could still charge
a tank I made.
Yeah,
some alternative kind of World War II game.
Yeah, it may take you a while to do it, but it depends how much you want the game. You could buy the complete version for instance, I don't know, £80 with all the miniatures, or £100 or however much. Or you could buy the print your own, might be as good quality, might not, and it's just got a USB drive and all the other bits to it. And that would be £50 or 60 if people think, yeah, I'll just print it myself if they don't want to play it straight away. It's a good option to have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what else is really expensive is that Mario Monopoly.
Oh, God. That's Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, but it's really good. If you haven't played Mario Monopoly, it's just Monopoly, but they use kind of the Mario Kart sort of rules-ish. So if you get hit, you drop coins, and then when people go past, they pick up the coins, and you each have special abilities. But they just released or releasing the Mario Kart Monopoly, which is the same thing, but they have different figures. But you pay that, and it's like, usually it's about £30. You get four tokens, four miniatures, and a Monopoly board, and all the money and all the coins and stuff. We managed to get ours quite cheap. But to buy, you get little blind bags of extra characters that you can use, and they each have their abilities. And each one of them is like a tenner.
Jesus.
Just for one. And all you get is a figure in their card. And I was like, how can you sleep at night?
No, that's just...
But the fact they're blind bags, that's the thing that gets me. They're blind bags. So you sit there and think, right, I need Rosalina or whoever else that's in there. Bowser, I really need that one. I'm going to drop a tenner. Oh, it's another one of this one I've already got.
Yeah, but that's like what I was talking about before with collectibles, like Monsters in My Pocket, sticker books. It's all the same thing.
They didn't cost the equivalent to a tenner back then, though.
You know what? With inflation, I don't know, but they wouldn't have been far off. Probably £6 for a Monster. Let's have a look, actually. Right, Monster in My Pocket, Generation 1, because that was the best. Monster in My Pocket, Gen 1. Oh, my God.
If you just found out what you're buying now.
God. I'm just trying to find like a Wikipedia. Here we go. Monster in My Pocket Wiki. Woo! Series 1. Series 1. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Baba Yaga. Anyway.
What?
No, right, I've got to come off this, otherwise I'll just stop talking and read. So, Monster in My Pocket Gen 1 price, whenever they were released. I can't remember when they released. But
It must have been early 90s.
Right, here we go, yeah. So,
because I remember them being about.
Series 1 came out 1990.
Right.
Funnily enough, they were produced by Matchbox. 48 monsters were in the original series, and 4 different colours: red, yellow, green, or light olive, and purple. And then they had 4 neon colours.
Did you used to get the same monster in multiple colours?
No. Yes, you did. And then you got, oh my God, they're so good. They're so good. Right. And there was different points to the monsters as well. So the higher points, I think they were rare. I don't know. sure they were like there was some I couldn't get hold of. They were difficult. Whereas you'd always get something like the vampire.
Did you ever get any
and
rare ones?
Yeah. I had the whole set.
Bloody
I had the
hell.
whole set eventually. Right. So price $19.90. So let's just see. No, it's eBay. No, this is the problem. You see, it's very difficult. Just want to find out the cost, and I can do it with inflation. Collector's Archive.
What I used to love as a kid is Mighty Max. I don't know about anyone else, but I used to love Mighty Max.
No,
I think
it
that's where
doesn't
my
say.
interest in dioramas has come from.
This is Gash. It's got all pictures of them.
Gash.
Yeah, Gash, man. Gash.
Well, anyway,
Ah.
okay, Monsters in My Pockets, I think £10 for a miniature is a little bit much. However, Mighty Max was a similar price. £10 for a Mighty Max set, and I think that was worth every penny.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I used to have hours of fun with Mighty Max. Oh, just thinking about it now.
it comes down to, well, I don't know. It just all depends on whether people are willing to pay. The more popular it is, the cheaper they become, because the more they mass produce it. And
that's like the opposite of now, though. The more popular it is, they just ramp the prices up.
Yeah.
They don't go by demand now, they go by how much money they can make, which is a real shame in everything. Like, look at Switches when they first come out. 280 quid, correct me if I'm wrong, however much they were when they came out.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't enough to buy. People they were going without. So instead of Nintendo going, oh, do you know what, we'll make some more. Same with the NES Minis and the SNES Minis. Instead of just going, oh, we will produce more as soon as possible, they had it in like time frames where they would not produce some until a certain date, so they become rarer, and then you get places like cash converters and CEX and everything that they would charge like 150 quid for a 70, 80 quid unit.
Yeah. Because
they were so hard to get. And Switches, I remember when they first came out and no one could get hold of them, they were like 350, 380 quid.
Yeah, but then what you've got is people, then, you get these people that just buy up.
But the stupidity is that people will pay that.
Yeah.
They want something. It's only
hang on a
100 quid.
second. You've also got people for Christmas, so they don't want to, I don't know, upset their kids, for example. So they do it because of that. I'm not saying it's right. But
I just think everything that you buy, you're not paying what it's worth.
Yeah, but hang on a second. You've got economics again, right? So you've got the material cost.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. What I mean is, I know, for instance, that this Buffalo pad, right, cost, I don't know how much it was, 15 quid, 10, 15 quid, right? And it's got about £1's worth of plastic and about 2 quid's worth of board. I know that. But what I mean is, like, if something comes out for a certain amount of money, if you wanted to buy one, I think it's wrong that there's not enough stock to buy something new rather than second hand. But then everyone just slams the prices up, and I think that's Nintendo's. That's really their fault.
Nintendo were being cautious, though, weren't they? Because of the Wii U, they didn't sell anywhere near what they produced. I don't think at the start.
Well, no, I agree, but the Switch, as soon as that came out, everyone went batshit crazy. It was like, this is a great console. So then that's when they should have thought, yep, this is it. We need to make more.
Yeah, but they haven't any stock issues recently, have they?
No, they haven't. Not recently. It's kind of half sorted out. There's a lot of places that don't have them. A lot.
Right.
And it's only recently it's actually started like sorting out, and that's a year after release. That's not a couple of months. That's a year after. That's when the stock levels have sorted out. The SNES Mini, you look on Hot UK Deals, and some of the hottest topics that are on there right now are, holy shit, this company is selling the SNES Mini for its actual retail price of 80 quid.
Yeah.
It's in stock. You're like, oh my god, and then it will just sell out. Which it shouldn't be like that. If I wanted to go out and buy a SNES Mini, within reason, I'd expect to be able to pick one up within reason. So, for instance, I wouldn't rely on one shop, but somewhere within a 50-mile radius of me traveling, there should be someone that's got,
Yeah, but it's just again, it's Nintendo's caution, isn't it? It's all about the caution.
But
They
I don't
don't
know.
produce
It's just
enough.
so much technology like this. Like the Nintendo Switch, that I really struggled to find out how they think that was going to be a bad idea. When everyone wanted a portable HD console, they wanted, like when the Wii U was out, they all said the Wii U would be great if you could take that gamepad with you.
That's what
and just do it.
I mean,
and then Nintendo went, yes.
Well, to make the Switch, the only way they could have made the Switch is by getting it wrong with the Wii U.
Well, yeah.
It would have been an evolution. It wouldn't have been the right way of doing it. Because they would have thought, oh, if they created a console that done well, the Switch would have never existed. They obviously wanted that pad was integral. And yeah, they went ahead and thought, right, well, we want the brains in the pad. So that makes sense. I can understand that.
So they knew that was gonna be a good hit. The thing that gets me though is the SNES Mini and the NES Mini.
Yeah.
They knew before they even mentioned it that people wanted it. Like, you could sit there and you could cough, and it would vaguely sound like Nintendo are releasing a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo Entertainment System, portable, like USB.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be that, and you would get thousands and thousands of people like, what did they just say? Retro consoles are an in thing now. So the NES Mini, as soon as they said, yes, this is what's happening, right?
Yeah.
They had pre-orders coming out of their arse.
They should have, for me, they should have created a Raspberry Pi case licensed. Not the guts, just the case. They could have charged, half as much. That would have been great. So you put the software on the bloody memory stick. You go, right, here's the software, here's the case. Here are the controllers. Just add your own Pi.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that though.
No, because people have still got to then put pirated games on there, which they wouldn't like whatsoever.
Did you know the games that you actually play are ROMs?
Yeah.
Are
emulation.
ROMs? No, ROMs that had been taken illegally.
Oh, right. So they didn't.
Because each ROM has got an ID number, which is I think 16 or 20 digits long.
Yeah.
That when you rip it, it's a unique number.
Okay.
And every time that you rip that same ROM, it will give you another unique number. So if you ripped like Punch Out, for instance, twice,
yeah,
they wouldn't have the same number. So what happened is they went into like the equivalent of like hex editing with the software. They took the software. That's how they found out they could mod it. But they went into the software and found the unique ID was the same as a freely available ROM on MU Paradise. So they hadn't even taken their own ROMs. They downloaded them from the internet and went, these are good ROMs. We'll use these. And that's what I think really is a dick move.
I love
Nintendo now, but they've saved a lot of money and have saved a lot of work. But I think, come on. So, did they credit the person that originally took that ROM? Would they fuck? Because what they did originally wasn't legitimate. It wasn't legal. But now Nintendo are making barrel loads of cash off these modders and hackers' hard work. I think it's just a bit of a... I think it's just cheeky, man. I welcome it because...
But then again, they own the license anyway.
Yeah, they own the license, but you'd have thought they'd have the hard copies somewhere that they could be like, yeah, these are official from us. Don't accept any copies. Do you know what I'd really love? That someone who modded one of those ROMs, right? Or like someone that originally ripped one of those ROMs. I would love for Nintendo to use one of them, right? Mm-hmm. But it's something that whoever ripped it had modded it. Just with something. Like you're playing... I don't know if they're going to do an N64 one or something.
Yeah,
they'll go, oh yeah, this ROM of Super Mario 64 is a good ROM. We'll take it off MU Paradise or whatever. But it's actually one that once they've downloaded it, or once they've ripped this ROM, this hacker guy, he just superimposed a picture of a penis if you put a certain button combination in. But But then Nintendo decide to use that, put it on their N64 Mini, and then people are doing this combination and being like, suckers, you haven't used a legitimate ROM.
I love it.
I think that would be great. Because you get ROMs, like, I downloaded, I'm going to be honest with you, I've got a Raspberry Pi right here. It's got all the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, but I downloaded loads of the like mods, shall we say? Like the hacks. And I was playing Earthbound, and it turned into something along like, where is my weed bound, or something like that, and it's just smoke up, do this up, and you're like, oh, really? And I downloaded Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
But I downloaded a hack of it, and it's called was it Super Mario is Addicted to Crack? And it's the game, but they've just put like a green tinge over it, and they've just redone all of the voice files, and or not the voice file, the text files, and then changed the story so it follows the actual story of the game, but made it out to be this sort of Mario is a crackhead trying to find his next hit. So it can be done. It can be done with ease. People are doing it. I'd just love for Nintendo just to catch themselves out just that one time. I think that
would put a dodgy version.
Yeah, just be like, we'll just use this ROM, and it's just It's just one of those ones that if you do a certain combination or go to a certain bit in that game, it just pops up with a big cock and balls or something, and then they have to recall them all.
Oh, God,
that would just be the funniest thing. And then the whole community would be like, told you should have used your own.
Yeah.
Stop ripping off the internet, even though it's your intellectual property. But
that
yeah,
would be good. But Nintendo's Nintendo. They got their ways, haven't they? I suppose.
Yeah. You're not allowed to stream Nintendo games.
No,
I found out. No, I think it's a bit weird. In my honest opinion,
you can stream third-party games from their hardware.
Yeah, but you can't. Surely that would be promoting their titles, though, if they're allowed to stream first-party titles. But you can't. You have to get written permission.
Because you've got reviewers that could give really bad reviews. They want to control the game's perception. That's what it comes down to.
You know, Nintendo just don't make bad games, though. I'm not even a Nintendo fan, and by the quality of the games that come out, you know, if I've not liked a Nintendo game, and I've played a few, you know, I've played quite a lot, shall we say?
Yeah.
Never finished them, but of every Nintendo first-party title I've played, if I've not liked them, like, and thought that it wasn't very good, it's because I didn't like the subject. It's not because how it was made. They are like Star Fox on the Wii U. I decided to go for. Now I like Star Fox, the old Star Fox. I think it was good, and I tried this one, and it just really wasn't for me. It wasn't a bad game. I just realised that in my life I'd gone off Star Fox. You know, it didn't feel like it used to. But it was still an excellent game, like excellently made. So I don't think they've got anything to worry about when it comes to reviews and stuff.
They've always been the same, though. And they have brought out some shite years ago. And maybe they got burnt.
Did they bring out shite or license shite?
No, I think they've brought out shite before. They've done a few doozies. And then
maybe they're just
game over then.
Maybe they're just being super, super weary of everyone.
They just like to control it, don't they?
Because gaming is not just, buy this game, play with your family, play with your friends. It's now, buy this game and see if you can get validation from the internet. Yeah. You know, and get millions of people to watch you play it. Because you don't, like, I find that when a new game comes out, it doesn't turn into, I want to experience this story. Like, the majority of people, they don't go, this story is fantastic, I want to experience it and be a part of it. I want to be a part of its world. They go, I'm going to look up this streamer talking over it. Is it any good? Is it fun? And this, you know, you get streamers that just talk shit over it all the time. Now, I know there's a market for it, I know, but gaming's not about that experience anymore, I think. I think gaming is about showing off. Like the new Call of Duty, have you heard about that?
Yeah, no single player.
No campaign. Now, I'm not really a fan of Call of Duty. I would play them. I'd play them for the campaigns. I never used to play multiplayer except for Black Ops.
Yeah.
Like 1, because that was really fun. But, you know, I don't hate them and I don't think they're shit games. But I think taking campaign out of it, it's just, what's the point? You learn from For Honor that you can't make a solely multiplayer game, competitive multiplayer game, and it be super popular. People get bored. So the thing that they've got
looking at PlayerUnknown.
Well, how many maps is it now? There was 2, and I think they've released 1 more.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we used to love PlayerUnknown, and it really held something close to my heart. It was such a good experience and so exhilarating, but it's not played for the reason that it should be anymore. Like, in my opinion, like, if I want to go into PlayerUnknown with you, I expect to be playing against teams that are acting like you and me, that really want to survive. It's tactics, and you're trying to outwit everyone. But then you just see people on motorbikes that are just doing backflips, or if you have another team, they just sit there and they shoot you because you've got a gun that they want.
Yeah, that was what.
And it's like,
off the most.
No, it's just no. You don't do that. I've gone into a squad before, just like you. You've said it as well. I've had it more than
once where I've gone in and gone, oh, they killed me for no reason, or I didn't land where they wanted and they killed me. Or, I got a really good gun and they killed me.
Yeah, and you think, come on. And there's no punishment for it.
There's nothing. No.
With the one that we were playing together, we were sitting there trying to play it properly with 2 random people. And we had the jump on and we were going to go for them. Because I had that sniper rifle, the Kar 98, and I was like, yes, I'm going to take this one. And then the guy that was on our team just started like throwing grenades and shooting that truck that was right next to us.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck are you doing? And obviously they saw us. They were better shots. We all died. It's like, oh God, you're not playing it for the reason.
People literally just want to do it to watch the world burn. It's that whole Joker thing. It's like, that's their entertainment for the day.
But it's the reason that's come about is, they wouldn't be doing that if they weren't expecting hundreds of people to be watching them. Some of these might be famous streamers. The only reason they're doing that is because they've got an audience. They're not playing the game because they want to play the game. They're playing it because there's loads of other people playing.
And they've got like-minded people watching their stream, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well I know what we'll do."
Oh, this guy's a dickhead. Oh, kick the barrel, shoot it, kill the other guy, kill your teammates. And they're like, "All right, it's only a stream, it's only a bit of fun." And then this other guy that's been killed is like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to play it? Then that's what I went off. I think PUBG I would go back to that and play it so much if they had like realistic AI or an AI mode, a bot mode. Yeah,
because I love play it with AI.
I love the prospect of it. I just, I don't mind the difficulty being ridiculous, but if it was bots if I could guarantee an experience of them going in for them to win, they want to win, not do fucking tricks, not dick on their teammates. I would go back to it. But that's just my opinion, Yeah,
but I think if we go back to it, we just play 2-player. We have a two-man
team.
No,
definitely. But then you've got to rely on other people that are not just going to sit there and go, right, okay.
No, I mean just us on the team.
Yeah. But the people that we're going against, instead of them sitting there going, right, I can take them down, I'm going to shoot them, right?
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they will deliberately strip down to their boxer shorts with a frying pan and charge at you with a frying pan just so they can say that they killed you with a frying pan.
Yeah, but that's fine because that's still your enemy. If your enemy wants to act like a complete twat, then so be it. That doesn't bother me. It was my teammates that were bothering me. It was the teammates.
I don't know. That's 2 very separate.
Because the enemy's the enemy. So if they want to be a knob or they want to try and kill you with a frying pan, good fucking luck. Have a go, me old sonny Jim.
I reflect PUBG to the film Battle Royale.
That's what it's based upon, yeah.
It's based upon that. So if I'm going to sit there and play a game about being the last man standing, in Battle Royale you didn't see people that were sitting there swinging frying pans into the air and doing backflips on motorbikes and, just doing those dickhead moves. So for me, I can't buy into that game because I can't get the realism.
I'll tell you how they fix it. They need to put a ranked option on. That would fix it.
That would be perfect. If they put a rank,
ranking, then people aren't going to fuck about in that.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that, but of course they won't do that. They're making too much money how it is. Fortnite is another thing. They've basically taken PUBG and just made it into a kiddies game, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm not very happy about that. I just don't think that's fair.
Well,
Really.
when I played Fortnite, it was pretty good for the couple of games, but the more I've watched of it, it's like someone will shoot you and you don't know where they are. Like when I played it, someone shot me and then hid, and I was like, "Cool, that's the game." Someone's going after me, and then someone shot me again, killed me, and I was like, "Fair play." And then they were like dabbing and doing like dance moves, and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, that's.
So it's
I've got no interest.
You're not gonna, you're not gonna progress and try and take out more people. You're just gonna dance, and there's like loads of people you see they're all dancing together.
Yeah, no, no, thank you.
This seems just like a piss take game. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't actively go after Fortnite, but it does piss me off. I tell you, like, and Call of Duty now, the new Call of Duty has got multiplayer, zombies, and battle royale.
Oh, I didn't know they were putting battle royale in.
Yeah, it's having a battle royale mode. So it's like, what's the point? Like, everything's got a battle royale. Everything.
Yeah, because it's making money. They only care about the dollar bills, mate.
One of the annoying things for me though is I've sat there and I've gone, do you know what's really good? A battle royale game. When I've watched that film and I've gone, yeah, do you know what? I'd love to play a game like this. I think it'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how you could do it. And I've thought of different ideas like this, and I think I'm more bitter because I know for a fact that before H1Z1 came out and Armour 2 that this was based on, I know for a fact that I thought of this idea first.
Right.
That's what annoys me.
But
and because I wasn't in that position, it's I know it's all hindsight and stupid, but it's for years I'm thinking, oh, Battle Royale would be fantastic. There definitely should be a game like how. I wonder how that would be marketed, and then bam, it comes out, becomes a world sensation. I'm sitting there kicking myself. Why did I not go into computer programming? Why did I not do this? But you just, what can you do? And I think that's why I'm a bit upset.
I wouldn't get too hard on it if I was you.
No, but you know what I mean? Is that when you sit there and you think that's going to be a great idea,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden it comes out, and you're like, oh shit! Only that was me. But yeah,
that's the way it goes, mate. Sometimes it's like you have these epiphanies. You think, oh my god, and then someone else already thought of it.
that happens. Yeah, that happens way too often. Way too often.
Plenty of people have plenty of good ideas. It's whoever does it, whoever kind of discovers it first. It's always the way.
But no, I don't even think there's any good games coming out this week either. Should we have a look? God of War's pretty much taken
this
over.
Week, to be much, because it's like Far Cry's the game at the moment. Oh no! I'll tell you what I am going to play. Is Frostpunk.
Yeah, I'll leave that all to you.
City Builder. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the next one that I'm really looking forward to is that Detroit game.
Have you played the demo yet?
No, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of like playing games beforehand. I know it sounds weird.
No, just.
But
I'm kind of the same, so yeah.
I like the idea of going when that game comes out. That's when I'll experience it. And I'm happy to wait.
Yeah,
apparently Battle of Azeroth comes out soon as well. Vampire, Crew 2, Octopath Traveler. Oh no, WoW doesn't come out soon. August 14th.
Do you reckon this will be the last expansion for this?
No, I don't think so. I don't. World of Warcraft has always been quite a, it's such a full and blooming game.
Yeah, but do you think they'll reset it with a proper sequel? That's what I mean.
No, I don't know. It's hard to say because so many people have put so much time and so much effort into their gear, into all their stuff. I can't see them. Look at Destiny 2. They made that mistake.
Oh, but hang on a second. Hang on. WoW's been going for 14 years.
Yeah. But if you imagine World of Warcraft made a sequel and was like, yeah, all your characters, we can't, all the gear that you had, it's not really relevant anymore, so we're not going to bring it over. Yeah. You're going to start again. people that had spent hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours on World of Warcraft would be up in fucking arms. Just like I was with Destiny when I'd spent however many 100 hours earning, the Supercell and all the big,
Yeah, then they don't work.
the big weapons. And then like, oh yeah, Destiny 2 comes out. And I'm like, fuck yes, well up for that. And they're like, yeah, but you start again. I'm like, well, what's the point of me playing the first one anymore then? As soon as they mention that you won't be able to bring it over.
You said you want to go back to Destiny
went,
2. Good on you. I'm not.
I want to go back to Destiny 2 because apparently I read up that Bungie have released their plan since January of the improvements that they're making because they've listened to what the people want and they've obviously seen a drop in numbers. They want people to keep buying that silver. So they had to make the changes. Like the PvP is now not 4v4. 6v6 like it used to be in Destiny 1 when it was good. Because 4v4 is too small. 4v4 was fine for the Iron Banner, right?
Yeah, but everything should be 3 or 6 because of the whole everything is a multiple of 3 in terms
exactly.
Of
so
mechanics.
3 is too small, right? It's just too small to have a fire team versus a fire team. 4 is a fire team plus someone you have to find. And that ruins the whole thing for the game. It should be, as you say, 3, which is too small, or 6.
Yeah.
So 4 is not a number that should be included. Like the raids, it's not 8 people or 4 people. The raids are 6. So if you can go into a PvP match with your raid team, that makes sense. Otherwise, now you have a raid team, you have to drop 2 people, and those 2 people then have to find another 2 people.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's just.
But they've improved that, and they've improved all of the other like weapon parts. The rewards that you get. There's a whole timeline that they've done, and we're about halfway through it at the moment. All these improvements have been made. They've added more content for free, which they've said. I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
And the first expansion has come out, and they've added some to that.
But the whole problem is the game world was never rich enough. It should have been completely open world. You could have still had instances in it, right, when you needed them. They do it in WoW. They've done it in WoW for years. You have instance dungeons. That's how it works.
My view with Destiny will remain the same. Destiny 1 was poop, right? The original game came out, pants. House of Wolves or Dark Below, whatever one came first, was all right. Dark Below or the other respective one was all right. It didn't really keep your attention. Then Taken King came out, and it was a new game. It was like the best expansion that could have happened. The Taken King, hands down, is one of the best expansions for any game that I've played. Rise of Iron was poop.
Yeah.
Right, but what I mean is that the change that happened from vanilla Destiny, I'm going to call it vanilla Destiny, as that's what I'm going to call it, to then Taken King for the complete overhaul was fantastic. And I do believe that Destiny 2 is going to go through the same thing. It's going to go Destiny 2, then it's going to be Curse of Osiris, Warmind, which is apparently is the next expansion,
right,
even though it should be called just the Warmind. That's it, because that's quite eerie. And I reckon after that mediocre expansion, they're going to release something like Taken King.
Why?
When they realise
fucking morons.
No,
because I don't believe that at all. They've already made this mistake now. They knew what happened in the old game. They've got all these people analysing the market, and now they've gone and fucked up right at the start. And what, they're going to have to claw it back again? It's just crazy.
What I mean is in Destiny 2, they gave people what they thought they wanted, which was they thought was an improvement of Destiny 2. But they focused everything on the polishedness of it and not the content. Whereas they've got to claw their way back to keep their customers. And I do believe that, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be the Taken King. It's going to be an overhaul that's going to be the equivalent of Taken King. I'm not going to say it's going to be as good as Taken King, because I don't think it will. But I think there will be an overhaul that's going to be like, this game has now become amazing. And that's what, I just feel, I feel that's what's going to happen.
For me, game's a load of shit. And they had success with the original, and they buggered it up. It's a load of crap. There's no way I'm going back to it.
The problem I found with Destiny 2 is like when that first came out, I was obsessed with it. I'd been following it for I wouldn't say years, but quite a long time. I was following it for a good hefty amount, and it came out, and I was like, "This is brilliant! It looks great. It sounds even better. Everything is fantastic about it." And then you get to the end of the campaign, you're like, "Right, okay, let's get the end game content." And then you're like, "Oh, I've done it. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do a strike. Oh, I keep getting the same strike. I'm not getting the ones that I haven't done." And then you're like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll do these challenges that are on the world." And you're like, "How do they expect that to last until the first expansion?"
No, exactly.
And that's what they spent all their time improving their visuals rather than the content itself. What they should have done, personally, in my humble opinion, right, is they should have just been like, Destiny 2, we're fucking scrapping it. All of this stuff, like with Destiny 2, is now just Destiny 1, but you have to buy the disc for it.
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't have marketed it as Destiny 2 and got rid of all the progress. They should have been like, right, that time that we put Taken King on the equivalent of a disc where they had a code and you had to buy it in retail and you had to pay 50 quid for it? It's that.
But they got rid of all the original world as well.
And they shouldn't. That's what I mean. They shouldn't have. They should have kept all of that so you could go. All of that previous content is gone.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why this whole 10-year thing is fucking shit.
Well,
it's not the same game. They lied. They just
at that
lied.
time, I smelled her out at that time anyway. When they said 10-year plan, I was just like, "Oh, you expect this to be like World of Warcraft? There's going to be a time
World
when you
of Warcraft, they didn't get rid of. It's like them getting rid of one of the continents.
Well, yeah, that's
nuts.
I agree. What they should have done is Destiny 2 should have been an expansion.
Yeah, but look
they
what
should have gotten rid of. Garl was a good character. I will admit he was a great antagonist. I liked him. I did fear him a little bit, just for his sheer power and the way that they spoke. And the Red Legion were, they were quite insurmountable when you thought about it. How many of them there were and how big they were. But he wasn't in that campaign enough for them to warrant a new game. He could have literally been a raid boss for another expansion. I would happily play a game and keep buying the expansions, i.e. World of Warcraft, if I knew that what I was getting was going to be an improvement.
Yeah, it's not.
I'd already been sold Destiny 1 after Taking King. Rise of Iron wasn't that good, but I didn't care because I still had all that other stuff to play. And that same game. The Rise of Iron was good, got a bit of extra content, only cost me 15 quid. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but look at the weapons. Look at it was all crap.
Well, yeah.
All of it was crap. I'm sorry, I just think...
All I'm saying is Rise of Iron, if Rise of Iron came out before Taken King, right, Destiny would have died. Taken King was their saviour. Rise of Iron didn't matter if it was good, because I think the reason why Rise of Iron was so shite was because they thought, Destiny 2 comes out soon, everyone will just jump on that.
No, because you've got to be careful. Right, I was really disappointed with Rise of Iron, and that put me off nearly to the point where I wouldn't have touched Destiny 2. So, I see what you're saying, but no, it's a big gamble. They bring out content, and the fact that Destiny 2 is supposed to be a continuation. So I thought, a little expansion before it comes out. Great. That's just another layer to add. Lovely. No. Everything was gone.
And it was the wrong decision to make because I'd worked hard for my weapons and my armour, and I'd built up a story for my original Titan.
Yeah, but look at the armour situation now with levelling. The whole light levelling is all bullshit.
Well, you have to
really
get like
properly.
pluses and plus fives to each
why
stuff.
Can't you customise your weapons?
I don't know. Honestly, I've got nothing for you on that.
What is it? Because there's too much dice rolling in the background.
I don't.
Because all you have, right? So, say for example, you've got a scope. All a scope needs to do is not give a bit of zoom, and that's it, right? So you've got a scope. Say you've got a handle, a foregrip. That will just reduce weapon recoil. That doesn't. But the problem is with Destiny, they apparently were having dice rolls where you could be shooting blank firing in front, like literally point blank range, and you'd still be missing quite a few shots because the background dice rolls.
They fucked up. But I
Just make them bullet sponges. Just make them harder to kill. Don't fuck around. It's a first-person shooter. It's not WoW.
yeah. But I think for me, I want to go back to Destiny 2 to give them that one last chance. I want them to try and
I was
redeem
saying that
themselves.
every expansion I got for Destiny, and Destiny 2 was the one last chance.
Did you not like Taken King?
It was right.
Oh man, I couldn't get enough of it.
There wasn't enough content yet again. Not enough content.
It was just an overhaul on every world that was there.
Yeah,
Like
but
all of the worlds changed a bit, and I thought that was.
There's no NPCs in the world. The quick time events are all the same, just like the whole thing. There was no uniqueness about any of the game. The worlds were dead and drab. That's what annoyed me.
This is where our opinions change, because
the Taken King helped. That helped with the ship, right? But I'm saying,
the Dreadnought. No, what I mean is when you went back to the Cosmodrome, it was changed
a little bit.
Because of the Taken King, and that was, there was bits that were missing and had the ether that was over it, and it was really sneaky, but it felt new. Because you're like, oh my god, this has been done over. That's missing now. That's gone into the
that's what
warp.
Cataclysm did.
And Cataclysm was great. Cataclysm was awesome.
But what I mean is that you go into WoW, you've got this massive world, and you've got a lot of unique NPCs and different aspects of it. You go into Destiny, and you've got these limited parts of these planets that you can't properly explore. And when you do, there's nothing there. Oh, look, I found this really cool room. Oh, there's nothing in it. Literally nothing. And you just think, fucking hell, what did they spend their time on? They'd already got the game engine from Halo. It's just it's... Oh, no.
It's all about shaders.
Oh,
that
yeah,
ruined
great.
it for me. Shaders ruined it. Well, no, not shaders. I like the shaders from the first, where you had like an overall... You earned a shader and that was your colour.
Yeah.
None of this like, oh Jesus, I've got to keep grinding this, so I can change my trousers to that instead of beige.
I don't know. Say for example, right, that there should have been a lot more armor customization as well as weapon customization. So for example, and this is just an example off the top of my head. So you've got arms, chest. You'd do it like Diablo to a point, but you'd have arms, chest, belt. So on the arms, you could have a special clip magazine holder. So when you're out, you go bosh like that, and it's quicker reload. I don't know. It's an idea. You could have an automated defense cannon on your back that fires at enemies while you're playing.
Even if it's only a couple of shots, it would...
whatever, right? No. They made this bullshit armor and then you've got tiny little variances. You haven't got all these attributes which you should have in a game like that. It's crap. When you break it down, it's utter crap. And what did they sprinkle with it? They sprinkled a load of bullshit on it, saying, "Oh, you've got a 5-minute storyline here," and then just rinse and repeat the same shit content for weeks on end. And occasionally we'll put something in extra for you. Oh, and while you're rinsing and repeating, you're grinding for fucking shit gear. And you're locked into the level gear you can get. Everyone has the same gear. And in fact, let's be honest, the 3 classes aren't that different either. Woo!
No, they're not. But I need to give them that one last chance.
And they took the re-erection out. I won't call it resurrection. It's the re-erection of the Warlock.
Yeah, that's... I can see why they did that.
No, but there's the one unique thing that you could use in a raid.
Yeah, but that's why. That's why... Because the amount of times that broke raids, that broke anything. Because everyone, it would come up with that little countdown, and you're like, oh no, everyone's dead, and then that dickhead that's got resurrection goes, ha.
But then,
and then all of a sudden, but then all of a sudden the code goes weird, and be like, have you failed? Oh shit! And then everyone would have a red screen as they're running around. Problem.
Yeah, they shouldn't have taken that out because it was a fundamental Warlock skill. They should have fixed the problem. Those shit coders should have fixed their shit problem, right? The whole game.
I've never been a fan of that Warlock thing. Because that's their special in in the Crucible as well.
I can't be talking about this. It's just too much.
I think on that note, I think we're going to end it there.
No, hang on. Right, the Titan, for example, yeah? Where was the extra armor? Where was the tank ability? He couldn't outlast the other classes, not really. the Warlock was supposed to be some sort of support class. Why didn't they have healing? Where's the healing?
They do.
No, but not properly.
Yeah, no, they do.
Now they do. I'm talking about...
No. They on release they did. It's an orb.
No, that's crap. That didn't work properly.
It's one of their alternate abilities. If you're in a certain ring, you get given an orb which fires at enemies and heals you.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about direct heal. Like a medic. Like a priest. Yeah. Right? Like a priest. So everyone's working together with their skills. The Hunter should have been DP class. The Hunter does the damage, the Warlock's supporting them, and the Titan's sucking it all in to keep it off the other two. Then you've got this tricorn of support. What a proper team should be. But no.
But what class are you?
Titan.
So was I. That means we wouldn't be able to play together.
No.
Because we'd have two Titans, and then we'd be like, oh, do we... You know, that means we won't do much damage unless we have a DPS. But, then we won't. But what I mean is, when you go into a dungeon in World of Warcraft, you don't substitute a tank for a DPS because your mate's that. You have to have the correct...
Yeah, but there you go then. So
roles.
People, just like the other game, would have to have the correct roles. In the dungeon, in the raid. But I'm not talking about the raid, I'm talking about a normal strike.
Yeah, but it's a lot of time. Because there's no such thing as like guilds or clans where you could chat and create groups that's the like that.
Problem. Don't get me started on that with Bungie. What did Bungie do there? What community was there? Fuck all. It's supposed to be set in the bloody far reaches of the future, and they can't even get a bulletin board set up in the bloody home. Well, they could have a chalkboard for all I fucking care.
Want to strike? Yeah, call number.
Want to strike? Titan needed. Right? Blah fucking blah. But no, they couldn't get that set up either.
That's just great.
Yeah, so, what else? Everything you can say, I've got something else to say about it, because I'm not going to be like you and be an apologist for Bungie's
I'm not being an apologist. I spent a lot of time on Destiny, and I'll have one last run. I'm not
700 hours on the original Destiny. 700 hours.
That's nothing, mate.
Really?
Yeah. I had 922 on a account that got banned.
Yeah, well, there you go then.
And then another 500.
Yeah.
And then however many on Destiny.
But I'll tell you, the one redeeming fact for Destiny was the raid. And the level of achievement I felt with my mates playing that.
I never did the raids. I never had enough friends.
That's the only bit of the game that's worth doing.
See, we need to play together. That means you need to come back to Destiny 2 so you can play.
Because we need another 4 assholes that will play as well.
I will find 4 bungholes to do it.
Oh, and
no, 3, because Nat plays
it. In Destiny 2?
No.
Not bad, still gay. Not bad, still gay.
Anyway, right, let's start talking about Destiny before you burst a blood vessel. We're going to end it here, otherwise I don't think the stress, we're going to be able to cope with it. We've got some things that we want to say, specifically to a few people. If you follow us on Twitter, at ModdedGossip, you'll see us tweet some random things about various stuff, which is pretty cool on it. You should come and check it out.
Yeah, come and say hello.
Yeah, come and say hello. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, then please do, because it really helps. And I'm not going to go talk about the big boy name again, but we want a big boy name. A special mention goes to Video Game Basement, because they are always supportive and always awesome.
I can't wait for my plane.
Yeah, we got planes and
we got something special for you boys as well.
We
Watch
have.
This space. Watch
well,
this.
The thing is, I feel like we should mention it.
No, not until it's done. We are not mentioning it until it's done. You're going to get something, boys. That's it. You don't need to know anymore.
Let's just say it's 1 each.
And
right?
if you don't like surprises, then suck it up.
Yeah.
We're going to surprise you.
We're using our talents, aren't we?
That sounds wrong.
No, not those sort of talents. But yeah, you need to go and check out Video Game Basement, because they have been great. They're an awesome channel.
And they're great
really
content. It's great content.
It's great content, and they're really easy to watch as well. Like, I've noticed that I can just sit there and I can just go from one video to another, and it's just entertaining. I've left them on before, gone to make a cup of tea on my phone, and the thing about them is, because you're watching the video, you don't need to actually have eyes on it.
Yeah,
it's when they're talking, they're keeping you entertained, and I think that's a really unique thing to do. So you should go and check them out. But there's other people that need honourable mentions. People from Twitter, there's we've got Mr. Biffo is a good person as well. I've got a feeling that he's with their Digitiser project, which is going to be good.
Yep.
If I don't mention the Cheapshow Podcast, then my partner is going to go crazy, because me and my partner listen to the Cheapshow quite a lot, because Paul Gannon and Eli Silverman are honestly the two of the funniest people that I've ever heard, and Eli does look like Ali. Honestly, he's just got longer hair. Just as funny and longer hair. But yeah, they're definitely people to watch out for. There's other people on Twitter as well, which we'll mention in another video. At some point, I want to start doing a credit, which is going to be cool. Just the people that we appreciate, that we like, that we've kind of made friends with on social media. But I need to find out how to do that sort of credit thing, because I'm not a pro editor. I don't claim to be a pro editor.
You're very good at editing.
I will get there. I will get there. But on that note, we are going to do it what we always do. And I'm going to surprise Ali.
Really?
He's got one up already. I know he's got one up.
I haven't.
Do you want me to stall? Do you want me to stall?
Go on.
Right, okay, so we have not been a channel for very long. We've only got, I don't even know how many videos we've got, probably about 8 or 9.
Million.
No, we don't have
Sorry,
a million
I couldn't help
videos.
myself there.
But we've been welcomed into the community really quickly, and we really do appreciate it. It's going to be worth mentioning now, is if you've watched Video Game Basement's last video, they said that we're going to be doing something together with them, and we are going to be doing something together with them. We're going to have like a triple stream. Well, I say stream, but we're going to do a podcast. We're going to include them. So if you look at the layout now, you've obviously got Ali here, and then you've got this little picture. We're probably going to have him there.
Me here. You pointed the wrong way.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, didn't you?
Because if you remember, if you look at this monitor, Ali, it's backwards.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
So on the actual video, it's that way.
Ignore me.
And then we'll have a Video Game Basement down there. We're going to talk about big meaty subjects, and it's going to be really good. And hopefully, we're going to do more than one.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to kind of make it part of a regular thing. I'd like to try and bring other people in as well if they're up for it, because there's always meaty subjects to talk about, and we're two quite I wouldn't say opposite opinionated people, but we definitely don't share the same opinion about some things, like Destiny, for instance. But yeah, if you want in on that, let us know. But yeah, definitely check out Video Game Basement. Have you got your comment?
Yes.
Right, so we're going to go on to one of the greatest sections of the pod. Ali's inspirational comment, ladies and gentlemen.
Control your destiny, or someone else will. Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty good, considering Bungie control us.
Speak for
well,
yourself.
me. But anyway, check us out on ModdedGossip, at ModdedGossip on Twitter. Click subscribe, do the bell thing, YouTube, everything, all the normal stuff. Ding dongs. We've been ModdedGossip. We love you.
We love you lots.
And
love you long time.
We will see you next time. So have a good one.
Ciao, ciao.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.